Whoever does the will of my Father is my brother, my sister, and my mother. I must confess in today's set of readings, it's the temptation is to focus on the first reading, the fall of humanity as described in Genesis, how Eve and Adam and Eve failed and how they listened to the serpent, and to talk about sin. Oh, yeah, and prince of demons, and let's give it to them about. But to be honest with you, I've heard so many sermons and homilies, if it even called them that, but over the years in my youth, I don't want to hear another sermon about sin. I think we're done hearing about sin. Not that there isn't sin. I don't think that is going to convince you in any way. No, I'd rather talk about this last part of this gospel, because that's what Jesus focused on. See, they're all talking about that he's doing this because of the demon and devils, and he focuses on one thing, and that is whoever does the will of my Father. Now that is my brother or my sister or my mother. In other words, a true child of God listens to God, and not just listens, but does the will of God. Now that's the real work that we're called to. And of course, we know the ultimate singular commandment that Jesus gives us over and over again is to love God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself. That's the real work that we're called to, that he's calling us to. The question then is, how do we do it? Well, I think I want to quote I'm sure you've read this over the internet. It's probably misquoted most times, but a great saint in the 4th century called Saint Irenaeus said, the glory of God is a man fully alive. The glory of God is man fully alive. Now, what it doesn't quote is a second part, which is most part. And a man fully alive is one who's beholden to God. In other words, who does the will of God. So the question is then, what does that look like? I mean, we as we're all here, you're all gathered around the table this morning, as I am, and we're trying to say, well, I think it is fully alive. I think that's exactly what we're meant to do. We're meant to drink in life in all its fullness and be fully alive. And we're about to enter into summer, so have a wonderful summer. Live life to the fullest, every one of you. Drink in all of life. And enjoy it, and savor it. And savor it and give glory to God. So I'm not saying be a hedonist and forget about God. I want us to focus on the gift of life and to savor it and hold on to it and realize, as St. Paul does, we are nothing but a tent. The tent is just transitory. The tent is here tonight, gone tomorrow. We have no permanent belonging here. So let's savor what we have for the summer. So what does that look like? Well, let's just go through the senses for a moment. That's how we take in life. So when we look around, let's just not look and not see. Look and see the beauty of life. Look at your spouse with new eyes and treasure them. Look at them and say, how blessed I am to have this spouse who I have. How lucky am I that I have this person in my life, and love them for who they are. Look at your children and stare at the beauty of them. And yes, there are weird quirks too. I get it. I know. But tell them how beautiful they are. Don't look at their faults. Look at their goodness. Hold up their greatness and their goodness and treasure it, savor it. Children, look at your parents and marvel at them. Marvel at how much they give to you, pour out their life to you endlessly. Thank them. Enjoy their presence. You will have a home one day yourself, yes. But for now, you're in their home. Enjoy it. Treasure the love you share. Savor it. Now, look, that's just in our family. What about looking at Look at the flowers who are blossoming right now. Pause and take that in. And do me a favor, smell the rose. Smell the plant. Smell even the puff of smoke that goes by from a truck and go, the smell of a truck. How beautiful it is. Not because it's beautiful, but because we can smell. Look at the beauty of the landscape that we're surrounded by hills on both sides. How could you not marvel at God's beautiful world? When you go on vacation, you go to the ocean, drink it all in, look at it, smell the sea air, look at it, take it all in and enjoy every last ounce of it. Who knows will be the last time you'll be at the beach. Take it all in. Savor it. But one that I want us to focus on the most is listening. Listen to one another. Not just look, but listen. Listen to every word that a person says, not because it is particularly profound, but they are here. Be present to them today in you. Listen not with your ears, but with your heart. When we are listened to, we know we are seen, that we are noticed, that we matter. How hard it is when we talk and their eyes are elsewhere and we do not even listen for that moment. It takes effort to do it. I'm no better at it than you are, but we need to try harder and harder to listen and to pay attention. Father Timothy Ratcliffe at the recent synod last year in October coached all the bishops and the cardinals to stop talking and listening to the lay people. He said, listen attentively. He said, the true calling and essential of who we are is not the contusion, there I think, therefore I am, or I speak, therefore I am. It is I listen, therefore I am. Listening holds a primary way in which we can engage in the world. So see and notice, listen and notice. Now look, the other senses, I like the sense of smell and taste is so underrated. If you were affected by COVID and you lost your taste for a short period of time, you know how devastating it is to eat food and not taste it, or to drink and not taste it. So let us take every meal and take in the flavors. Don't just drink a glass of wine, smell the glass of wine first, and then drink it. And enjoy every swirl of the glass of wine. And that's probably the first time you ever heard anyone said that over the pulpit. But go ahead, have a glass of wine and really enjoy it. But that's what I want you to do, is to enjoy the life. Smell and taste and touch. Do you know that since COVID has happened, how little touch we have? We've reduced touch down so much that it has become an epidemic. We need to return to touching. Touching by shaking hands, by touching by hand on the shoulder, touching by holding the faces of your child and pressing against them and saying, how much I love you, you little rascal. And let them touch you. Let them hold your hand. And look, I know teenagers out there, I know it's hard. You think your parents are at this age, you shouldn't touch them. They want nothing to do with your parents. Let them hug you. Let them kiss you. Please, teenagers, let your parents have these moments. They will soon be gone, and you will be gone from the house. But let us return to hugging and kissing and touching. Please, it is a gift that God has given us. Let us share that gift. So today, no, I don't want to focus on the fall of humanity. I want to focus on the rise of humanity. That we return to being fully human, fully alive, by seeing with new eyes, by hearing with new ears, by tasting and touching and smelling with new vitality that we want to drink in the whole world and give glory to God. If we can do that for ourselves, then we can love others. And I would submit that we are loving others when we do that. But one thing we are mostly doing is we are giving glory to God. So today, let's give glory to God by being fully alive.